color of our community aligns with the color of our city. And that is because you were willing to change. You were willing to move from an all-white community and organ pipes and big white lecterns that people stood behind and move into an integrative with Judaic teachings. Our beloved Rob Rowan used to talk to me every Sunday about the Judaic teachings and the alignment. But you were willing to pave a course, though that we currently, I want to thank Ella Moorhead, who came here for years. I want to thank Linda McLeod, Hazel Mader, who were the trailblazers of those times. Elizabeth Lewis, who in the close to 2009, I believe, was our first African-American member of our board. She's now running boards in the afterlife, and proudly, I'm sure. That being said, the reason we're called first is not to ego trip. We've been to prayer many times to even consider dropping off the first, but we didn't want to be part of canceling because that's our history. Because in the 50s, someone wanted to nominate the only black person that came here to be on the board. And there was an upset. Because keep in mind, a city and a global culture had not caught up with reality. And so the group of people left and started Unity Temple of Truth. And then in the 70s, another split, but not because of race, but misunderstanding. And then other communities since then. We've done a great job supporting things moving on and changing, yes? But I wanted to honor this team. It touches my heart because this is an important part of life. Don't ever forget the work it took you and the intention and the effort to get where you are today. Celebrate the work. Don't go, oh, we're here and now we're over there. No, no, no. Honor the work that many people before you have put forth so you get to come in here and enjoy. Whether it's in your life or your spiritual community or in your educational component, whatever it is. I'm talking with you, not down at you, but it's important. We're too quick to say, oh, now we're over here, isn't that nice? That's some sweat equity right there, let me tell you. You know what I mean? Right? When somebody comes here and they haven't been here in a while and they go, those songs are long. It's like, welcome to the new church. Welcome to the Rising Star. Welcome to a black board president. Welcome to a African American music director, band members, and an executive director, wherever she is, over there. Because the culture has changed. Give yourself a standing ovation. So a little boy walks up to a great pianist like Eric. And give Eric a hand, it's okay. And he said, I would give my life to play like you do. And the man said, son, I have. I have given my life to play this way. I have given my life to stand for what I believe. I'm speaking for all of us. I've given my life to stand for a unique, original identification of God, an individuation of spirit. I have given my life to it, haven't you? Haven't you? I mean, make some noise about yourself. Given my life about that. And whatever it is in your field, in your aura that you're going, I still desire that. I still long for that. Be willing today to step forward and say, I am willing to commit my life to that. Because that decision alone creates the domino effect for all things to happen accordingly thereafter, just like we explained to you. Change. Dr. Martin Luther King said that the most segregated time in America is at 11 a.m. in churches. Not this one. Why? Because we were willing to dedicate our lives to not pay attention to gossip, opinions. I call them UFOs, unfounded opinions. And my comment is, thank you for sharing. There you go. I know I'm working on the tone of that. A little boy is working with his mom. She's in the other room, and he finds this very old Bible that belonged to his family. And he holds it up and opens it up, and a big old, tired-looking leaf falls out. He said, Mom, I found something in the Bible. And she said, well, what is it, son? He said, I'm not sure, but I think it's Adam's underwear. He was coming from what he knew, what he had been told, and what he heard. He was coming from what he knew, what he had been told, and what he had heard. And in that consciousness, you want to be aware that anytime you're coming from what you know, what somebody told you, or what you heard, you're only in about 10% of your capability of who you are. Of who you are. Because when you live your life from what you heard, what you think you know, what somebody told you, you're not living your life. You're living their life. You're living the pastor's life. You're living see, I can't even say it. I've been away from religiosity. Thank you for sharing. The medical life. You're living a life of a statistic, and you are downplaying the possibilities of what your soul came here to be. Alvin Toffler would say that the illiterate of the 21st century has nothing to do with people who can't read and write. It has nothing to do with that. It's about highly educated people that are unwilling to learn, unlearn, and relearn. And that is why we spend our time year after year after year in this teaching in our own personal lives, is that we dig deeper into what is required of me to learn, unlearn, and relearn. And it's not one time at a study group. It's not 7 weeks of Spirit Expressing. Trust me, it's every day. Every day that the windows show up in your life, the mirrors show up in your life, kind and unkind, to draw something deeper out of you if you are willing to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Are you willing? Are you willing? Very, very powerful reality. As a man was watching another man catching fish. And he looks over there, and the man would catch a fish, and he would hold up something. He thought it was a ruler, but he'd hold it up, a big sizable fish, and the man would then throw it back in the water. So the man went over and said, look, I know it's not really my business. I'm just curious. Usually people are here, fishermen are here, and they want the big fish. Is there something you could teach me, or I'm not aware? Those fish have bones if they're bigger? And the man goes, no, I don't have a thing to do with it. Reason I keep throwing them back, I measure it. It's too big for my pan. It won't fit in my pan. so I throw it back. And that's the secret of your moving forward, my moving forward in our life. Except we're not into fish and pans. We're talking about the fact that your consciousness changes. You change. You're not the same person today that you were yesterday. Your cells have changed. Your blood has changed. Everything has changed. And when something is wanting to fit that won't fit in your consciousness pan, you need to move on. And let it be, because the pain comes from forcing that vegan fish into the pan. It comes from forcing your evolving consciousness into something smaller of your life. Are you resonating with that? I don't know. I'm having this marriage relationship with this thing, so please forgive me. My ears shrunk last night. It's real important to recognize that the things aren't coming together, not because you're too small, but because you have expanded to something larger. It's likened to, some of us girls, that the blue jeans get too tight. There's very few things as painful. You've seen it. You get on the floor. I don't know what that's about. You even lay on the floor and try to pull the zipper, and then you get your wife, your husband to help you pull it together. That's what it looks like in your mind. That's why it's so silly. That's what it looks like in your consciousness, because you have outgrown that. And then you move on. You move on. A wife calls her husband. He answers his cell. He's on 275, and she says, "Honey, be aware today. There's a madman on 275. It's on the news." He said, "Oh, honey, there's not just one. There's hundreds of them coming at me. Coming at me." Well, do you feel that way sometimes now with so many things coming at you? You're one individuation of God. You're one solid present of the truth. You're one activated, self-actualizing human being, expanding, and you have hundreds of other identities and opinions and things coming at you. I mean, I don't know who can tune in to the news. I don't know, while at the same time holding a space of namaste, om, all is well. Because I tell you, if you make it through COVID, there's now a fourth thing coming, and then if you make it through that, or then if you make it through the most severe weather in the world. Now it's the most severe in the world. Maybe coming. And if you make it through all that, and you live in Florida, a shark's going to eat you up because you went over across the street from the beach, and they got out of the water and they came and got you. And we laugh, but I'm sad to say that's about close to the truth. Let us keep training you people to be herded, to be afraid, to be inadequate, to be pitiful, to be little, because we gotcha. We gotcha. Well, I'm here to tell you, they aren't getting me. Are they getting you? Because I've spent my life trying to play this piano, and I am not surrendering my flag now, rainbow or otherwise. Are you? Are you going to surrender your flag? No, you might be fascinated with the separation and the division with COVID. Get real. We've been being trained the whole time we've been born to be divided with a people, with a color, with a sex, with a choice, with retail, with what you like, with this energy, with the medical association, with the fact that your insurance won't pay for your good stuff, but they'll pay you to die. We have been divided all our freaking lives if we let it. This is not new. COVID isn't new. It's It's another new thing that's coming, that's sweeping the world, that says we are dividing you so we can own you. Those of us that have survived color, being called names, sexuality, dismissed from family, no one talking to us because we are homosexual. This is one of many. Please don't forget that. Use your mind. Allow yourself, be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind. Stand boldly. And don't walk away from here and say, I said those things don't exist. I didn't say that. They don't have to enslave you. They don't invite you to stop using, as I say and have said for many years, spirituality is not meant to replace freaking common sense. You know, you just test yourself. BB's the love of my life. Yes. Ooh, I'm glad that checked yes. Woo. Give her some love. So, they always want a title way in advance. You know, I don't know who I was going to be this morning, but I put Pebble in the shoe. Pebble in the shoe. Often when you feel that something isn't working in your life, and you know the law is always working, it's invoking and inviting you to look broader and bigger. We're going through that right now. You're looking, something happened, it jolted you. Whoa. Most people go into, why God? What's going on? Are you mad at me? Do you love me? You love me? It's not related to that at all if you're a new thought. It's related to opening your heart more. It's related to expanding yourself more. And a lot of times people, when their lives aren't working, they'll go and sign up with a therapist, which I think can be very proactive. But when you're going to a therapist and you don't know what's wrong with you and you're just at the mercy of sitting with somebody that's meeting you for the first time, often they want you to take the pebble out of your shoe from your childhood. You don't have to go all the way back to your childhood to take the pebble out of your shoe. You can take the pebble out of your shoe on the way home in the car. You can take the pebble out of your shoe where you live, because it's right there. You understand that? You don't have to go all the way back to take a pebble that happened all that long ago, because the better way to do it, and this is my humble opinion, the better way to do it is you call forth Great Spirit and say, if anything or any memory or any healing or anything or an action or a person or a small person that got their power by saying things about me, or an experience or whatever it is, or a family that doesn't get me, whatever it is, when you call forth Great Spirit in your prayer work, it will reveal itself to you at the time it is ready to be revealed. And when it does, it's called freedom, because you will be free from it then. But if you go somewhere and just start digging a hole, I'm looking for a pebble, it doesn't work that way. And even if you make a temporary change, it will not be permanent, because it naturally and organically did not reveal itself to you at the most important time. The whole world is often designed to grow up in a dysfunctional family. Why? So you become your own person. Why? So you may question authority, the people around you, those big people, because that is the law of evolution. All the new ones born are so much smarter than those of us that are here. I can't hold a candle to Miracle. I mean, she outsmarts me, borrow none. And my best thing is to say to her, teach me. Not, I'm going to tell you what my parents taught me. I'm going to tell you the way I did it. We didn't do that, and that's the way we're going to do it, because that's the way my parents taught me, and that's the way I'm going to do it, because I don't like how I am, but I want to make you the same way. So we can do therapy together. And we can just suffer together. And then we just blown together in a little club of dysfunction. And then in that, then people bring their dysfunction and they make the ministers and the leaders their parents. Oh, God, help us. Because of that projection. Are you with me? It's projection. It's your perception. So you pray every day, divine, beloved Spirit of God, allow my perception to see things now according to who I am now. Yes? We were saying the other day, because we're just about packed, we're leaving our home that has served us for many years, and we're finding all these memories, little mementos. And we see a picture of Barbara's sister, Celeste. That girl, she is crazy, in a fun way crazy. And so we flew into New York, and we were all excited, and we just couldn't wait, and we were going to meet at Celeste's daughter's apartment and go see it because it was new, and we couldn't wait to see Alexa, and we couldn't wait to see her dog, Lexi, and we were just, we were full of ourselves, just, how tourists can be. And so we meet Celeste in the lobby, and she says, oh, this is wonderful. She said, oh, and by the way, there's Lexi with the dog walker, this little Maltipoo. Oh, there's Lexi. Barbara and I go running over to Lexi, petting all over her and hugging on her. Oh, we're so glad to be visiting you from Florida, our little niecey Maltipoo. How you doing, kissy, kissy, kissy? And the man's looking at us like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. And so we go back, and Barbara looks at the man, which, if you know her, you know this is her. She goes, aren't you supposed to be walking the dog? We go back to Celeste, and she is like in a fit laughing. She goes, that wasn't Lexi. I played a trick on you. Those of you that didn't follow that, you can watch on YouTube later, I understand. But that's what your perception will do if you let it. It will trigger things that feel familiar when they're not. It will allow you to have an out-of-body experience about something that will remind you of something else when that isn't the way it's designed to be, you see. And so it's in that energy field that you learn to take spaces between the moments of your life and the encounters, and you make sure that they fit the who you have become. It's so important to make sure that they fit the who you have become. It has truly been, I can tell you, I don't fit in the same heart clothes that I did when I started here as a little kid in my 40s here at First Unity. I'm not much over 40, stop. No, I'm proud to be 63 years old. I've already doubled my life expectancy because based on how I did those 15 years, that big Pebble I've told you about, I wasn't destined to be here, but my soul was. But it has been an amazing journey, instructive, all kind and unkind, because that's what life is. And we learn, and we grow, and we expand. And we continue to get a new frying pan of our consciousness of what that looks like and what that feels like to have that experience. Gene Houston told a story about a man that was very aggravated, and he went and he looked at the sky and he said, God, what is it with you? I don't understand. What is it with you, God? I don't get it. I don't have the love of my life. I don't have the job I've always wanted. I don't have the abundance I've craved in my life. I don't get it. God, why don't you do something? And the skies parted. And God said, I did do something. I sent you. I'm so glad that all of you were sent. God bless you. Bless you. Bless you.